now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G. All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to the Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. It's your boy, Gerald Graham. You know me as G. Once again, we're back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with everyone. Let me start off by apologizing. I actually was on time today. We had some technical difficulties. We was getting feedback from somewhere, and I had to figure out where that feedback was coming from, and I think we got it figured out, and now we are live on WPMM Internet Radio. For those of you who joined me and saw that disruption, if you will, my apologies to you. I hope all is well with everyone.
Yeah, you are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
You are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
You are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
You are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth,
all right, I think we're back. We're back.
The truth, the whole truth.
I think we're back.
So sit back.
Somebody don't want me to be great. I think it's the topic today. The topic today that we're going to talk about today is the Truth with G. I think somebody don't want me to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway. But I think we're back on Facebook. I think we're live. I think everything is okay. Hopefully the sound is what it's supposed to be. And the picture is what it's supposed to be. Again, we are live on WPMM Internet Radio. WPMMradio.com is the website.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Appreciate that, Mr. Pugh. Appreciate it, Mr. Pugh. WPMRadio.com is the website. You can go to the website. You can download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And you can listen from WPMMradio.com without interruptions. Facebook giving me issues. Facebook always want to give me issues when I talk about something that's kind of controversial. So, but we are WPMM Internet Radio. I am here every Monday, Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and we talk about the issues that matter to you. WPMM, we play more music. We play the best in R&B, neo soul, independent hip hop, and old school music. You can check us out on that website, WPMMradio.com. We're also live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So make sure you listen to the show, not just when I'm on, but listen to the music as well, because again, we play a mixture of music. We don't play the same 10 songs every hour. When you tune into WPMM Radio, you get a mix of everything. Songs that you done forgot about, that you haven't heard for in ages, and bring back memories, and then they'll hit you with the new school stuff. It's just a great station to listen to. Also, the views and opinions expressed by individual hosts and guests are of their own. It does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, country, company, individual, or anyone, or anything. All right, now that we have that out,
if you can't handle the truth,
now that we have that out there, if we're on Facebook, let's go ahead and share. Go ahead and share if you're on Facebook. A couple topics today that we're going to talk about. It's kind of controversial, if you will. And I did it on purpose, and I put out a question today, and we're going to talk about corrupt pastors, and I think it's a necessary topic because of what.
You are now tuned into the Truth with G.
Okay, I found the problem. I think y'all guys, I did find the problem.
This ain't the show for you.
That's what it was.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So sit back.
See, when you're engineering your own stuff, you run into issues, but I definitely found what the problem was. I was able to correct it. All right. So once I get big time, I'm going to have some engineers come and engineer the show for me. But in the meantime, I have to do it on my own. I have to do it on my own. So
and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this is the show for you.
But anyway, we're talking about corrupt pastors today. And the reason I brought this up on Monday's show, and I said that I was going to bring it back full circle today. We kind of touched on it at the end, very tail end of the show this past Monday. And I put the question out there this morning, so I did get some responses, and we're going to go over some of the responses that I got from you guys, from the listeners, from on Facebook that responded.
This ain't the show for you.
And the question was concerning corrupt pastors. And I asked the question, do you stay at the church or do you leave the church when you know that your pastor is corrupt? Do you stay or do you leave? And I got a few responses from that question, and I'm going to read some of those responses and commentate on those responses as well. And we're having all kind of issues. I'm having issues on WPMM radio as well. For some reason, the WPMMradio.com keep disconnecting as well, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But anyway, we're going to press on. But I pose that question. Corrupt pastors, do you stay at that church or do you leave when you know your pastor is corrupt? And I got some responses again. And I'm going to say this before I even start talking about this topic. This topic came up because there's a lot of issues within, particularly the Christian and the Baptist faith. And nobody seems to want to talk about it. Everybody wants everything to stay hush hush. Everybody wants to just say, "Oh, okay, we're going to pray on it, and we're going to pray it away, and we're going to do this, that, and the other." And it's not going away, and it's the prayer is not as quick, fast, in a hurry as we need it to be. And I know they always say, he may not come when you want him, but he always on time. But sometimes you got to wonder. And we have some pastors that are not doing the right thing. Plain and simple. We have a lot of pastors. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of pastors. We have a few pastors that's not doing the right thing. And I don't have to call any names because, I'm talking about pastors in our community. I'm also talking about pastors across the nation, even the pastors of these mega churches and this and others. So I just picking on local pastors. And I also want to say that as far as pastors go, we have a lot of great pastors as well. We have a lot of pastors that are there for their congregation and are there for their communities as well. So we have a lot of those. And, I try to highlight those when I can. But what we need to do.
You are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth.
Mr. P said there's music. I didn't turn the music on in the background.
So sit back, relax, and
oh, okay, I got you. How did that happen? Boy, I tell you. I tell you, somebody don't want me to be great today. Somebody definitely do not want me to be great today. Mr. Pugh, I appreciate that, sir. Technology is just, something is not right today. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. The devil don't want me to tell about his servants, is what it is. The devil knew I'm talking about his service today, and the devil is trying to do anything and everything to prevent me from talking about his servants, particularly his servants from the pulpit. But you know, Christian folks say the devil is a liar, and we gonna tell it today. We're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about the devil's servants that are serving in the pulpit. But anyway, appreciate that, Mr. Pugh. I think we got that situated. That wasn't supposed to be happening. But anyway. Mr. Pugh, I don't know if that music was playing the whole time or just part of the time or what happened. But anyway, we're gonna move on. But anyway, as I was saying, we have a lot of pastors out there that's doing the right thing and running their churches the right way. Contributing in the community like they should. And y'all know I'm hard on pastors. I'm hard on churches because I feel like the church, being who they are and what they are, there we go. We're back. The devil don't want me to talk about his service today. He's trying everything that he can do. For the devil, God, what is going on? What is really happening right about now? Somebody push a button somewhere. Somebody pushing one of the devils pushing the button somewhere. But we end up freezing up again, but we still live on WPMMradio.com, and we should be back on Facebook. Mr. P said he's after me. He definitely is, because I'm talking about his service. I'm talking about his top ranking service in the pulpit. Then I posed the question: if you have a pastor, should you stay at that church or should you go? And I'm going to read some of the comments that came in off that question. Again, I'm not going to read any names as far as that goes. I let you stay incognito, if you will. One person wrote, good fruit would not come from bad seeds. You can fast and pray for the pastors to be delivered. Ultimately, leaving the church is not a bad choice. So that particular person said, leaving the church is not bad. And we do have people that stay with the church regardless. And they stay with the church because they say, I've never been anywhere else. I've never been affiliated with another church. I've never been a member at a different church. I grew up in this church or whatever. And whatever happens, I'm going to stick with this church, even though they know the person that's heading up the church is more likely not the person that they grew up with. Pastors change over the years. We have some pastors that got a long tenure and some of them have shorter tenure. So, but anyway, she says leaving the church is not a bad choice. I had another person respond, said I was a kid when my pastor got caught sleeping with the secretary of the congregation with him to his new church, and some stayed. Part of the hiring process for the new pastor for me to stay with and wait and pastor. So that person basically is saying that they stay with the church and wait for the pastor to get set down or pastor to get thrown out. However you want to call it. Sometimes that don't happen. In a lot of cases, we got corrupt pastors that think a lot of dumb shit, and they are still in the pulpit. That don't always work. Wait on the devil to stop kicking. Website. I apologize because I'm trying to get everything back to running, and the devil is having a field day with me today. I am talking about his servants. I am exposing his servants, and the devil is pissed off. The devil is mad. So my apologies again to Facebook, because my Facebook feed keeps freezing up and things keep happening. We are live on WPMMradio.com. We're talking about corrupt pastors. Do you stay or do you go? We're reading comments that I put out the question earlier today. Another person said, I follow Jesus because man is subject to fall. Read your Bible for yourself. Most people are dumb when it comes to what the Bible says and the word of God. And with that, yes, you should. If you are the Christian faith, yes, you should read your Bible. Yes, you should try to educate yourself. But however, the Bible is a difficult thing to understand and translate, if you will. And that's one of the reasons that you have pastors and you have ministers and you have deacons and you have Sunday school teachers to go through the word, and they should have had some type of formal training or some type of education into biblical studies to where you can learn from them. But educating yourself, you can read the Bible and you can get a pretty good understanding. If especially with the different versions of the Bible that's out right now, you got your, the NIV version and all these different versions of the Bible that kind of take the translation and change it into to words for layman, if you will, because everybody don't understand the these and the thys and go hither and this, that, and other. People may not understand exactly what all that is talking about. So there are different versions of the Bible that you can read. But the church is supposed to be for guidance. The church is supposed to be for tutelage, for you to go and hear the word as it's supposed to be distributed, given out. Hear the interpretations as supposed to be given. That's where we go to the church. So another comment. Again, we're talking about pastors, corrupt pastors. Do you stay or do you go? Do you leave the church? Again, if you're just joining us, talking about corrupt pastors. Another person wrote, he said, I know this may be a side conversation. If he is not practicing what he's preaching, then how can you follow that type of person? I'm out of there. Now, sadly, a big problem is that people put too much emphasis on the pastor anyway, and not on God. I'm there for the message and not the messenger. People get caught up in the song, dance, and play on the emotions. Some can only tell you what was told to them. He can't understand the word for themselves. yeah, and I understand that comment. And again, we're not calling names on those comments today. I understand that comment. However, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and I'm push back on some of these comments as well. We people saying you shouldn't put you shouldn't put faith in man. You should put faith in God. You go to church to praise God and to serve God. You don't go for man. However, when you have man that is running the house that you go to for worship, when you have that man that's running the house and you sitting there listening to that man or that woman who is up there in the pulpit and they feeding you a bunch of bullshit because everything out of their mouth, they're doing the exact opposite of that. And that's why I call it bullshit. Because you can't sometimes I use the analogy, an active crackhead can't tell me how to stay off crack. A former addict can tell me how to stay off crack, but an active addict cannot tell me how to stay off drugs. If that makes any sense when it pertains to the church. Meaning that a pastor can't tell me how to live right if they are living foul. And when I say living foul, I'm not talking about just basic human error. I'm not talking about basic slip-ups, where you tell a little white lie, and the lie is a lie according to the Bible. But when you tell somebody, oh, you look good in that dress, and they look like a fool. I'm not talking about that kind of things. I'm talking about when you have pastors that are going out there that are purposely trying to do damage to others, are purposely lying on others, are purposely causing issues with others, purposely trying to bring other people down. They're doing it on purpose, and they're doing it with the knowledge of just pure evil, if you will. They're knowingly doing these things. Anybody can make a mistake. For instance, if I go out there and get in my car and I bag out of my driveway and I just happen to fail to look behind me and I bump into a car that's coming down the street as I go out my driveway, that's an accident. I didn't purposely try to do that. It was an accident. I didn't see the car coming. Same with humans. Sometimes humans do things that are accidental, that they didn't mean to do, but it happened. Sometimes humans say things that are accidental, that they didn't mean for it to come across that way, but it did come across that way, and it may have hurt somebody's feelings or came across to where that person is aggressive or hostile toward them or what have you. So those are accidental type things. But now if I get in my vehicle and I sit there in my driveway and I wait for somebody to come down the street, and as soon as I see them get close to my driveway, I hit the gas and I bag out and I hit that vehicle, I did that on purpose. And that's some of our pastors that we got in the pulpit today. They're doing these things on purpose. And then they get in the pulpit and act holier than thou. They play the victim. Everybody's hating on them. Everybody's lying. And then they're trying to teach and preach to you a word that they have no intentions on living. They have no intentions whatsoever on living what they're preaching. Now, if you're sitting in that congregation and you're aware of the fact that this person that is giving you the word is evil and corrupt and purposely trying to do damage to folks, and you sitting in that congregation, I understand that may be your church since you was a little baby or whatever. You probably baptized in the church and you grew up in the church and you sung in the church choir and you did this, that, and other, whatever. I understand all that, but how do you sit and listen to someone who is corrupt on purpose? I'm trying to get to these comments. I can't see people. I really can't see. Mr. Pugh said, all Christians are called to study and show yourself approved of God, and workmen needed not to be ashamed. He also said, if Jesus turned right and the pastors turn left, then I'm turning right. Yeah, but the question is, do you stay in that church? Do you go to church Sunday after Sunday, Bible study Wednesday after Wednesday, and do you sit there and listen to this man shoot you all this bull crap out their mouth, this man or this woman, if you will? Do you sit there Sunday after Sunday and listen to all this bull crap that they're spewing, and they are doing the exact opposite? And that same person that's preaching to you is the same person that's going to turn around and probably stab you in the back at some point, especially if you're not serving their purpose. And their purpose is not to honor God or to serve God. Because if you're in the pulpit and you're doing evil from the pulpit, it takes a special kind of evil. It takes a special kind of evil to do it from the pulpit. That's an evil that's sure enough to get you a ticket. If you believe in a heaven and a hell, that's an action that is surefire going to get you a ticket to hell. So, do you sit there and listen to this man or this woman try to tell you how to live godly when they are living ungodly on purpose? And I want to reiterate that. I know that as humans, we all fall short. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we're not supposed to do. We all are victims, and we all are guilty of that. Me, I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm the first one to say I have never just always did what I was supposed to do. I done some fucked up things. I've done some dirt. I've done all that in my lifetime. I'm 56 years old. I've done some things in my life. I've done some things I wasn't proud of. But I can tell you this. Even though I may not have been proud of those things that I did, even though I may not condone some things I've done in my life, even though I may not give anybody else advice on doing what I did, when I was out there backing no damn fool. Even with all that being said, when I did it on purpose. I made a conscious decision to do these things. Now, I had to get to a point in my life, you grow up, as you do things, you silly stuff in your younger years or whatever, you grow up and you learn and this, that, and another. I learned that you have to live your life with purpose. I don't do anything that I can say that I regret. Anything that I say it twice and I say it 3 times. Because if I say it, it's true. It's from my heart. It may hurt your feelings, but it's true. I'd rather tell you the truth and apologize for your feelings being hurt than to lie to you and make you feel good about something that I'm lying to you about. I say we got another comment in the section, in the comment section. Mr. Pugh said, yeah, you got to go and find the truth. Okay, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm not even gonna say the name because I'm gonna mess it up. Mr. Perlu. I'm not saying it right. I'm not gonna try it again. He said, nope, I'm going to another church, or the pastor needs to get voted out. He also said that no woman should be preaching. Just saying. I don't know if I can roll with you on that one. But that's your opinion. I understand that. But we have pastors that are sitting in church right now. What's today? Thursday. They was in Bible study last night. Then they're still in the pulpit. And the sad part is the church know the pastor's foul. The deacons know the pastor's foul. And 9 times out of 10, the deacons ain't gonna say nothing, because if the deacon exposed the pastor gonna expose the deacon, and then it's gonna be the trickle down effect. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all. Somebody say amen. Y'all know I ain't lying. The deacons ain't gonna say a word because they know the pastor know their dirt. So if they say something about the pastor, then the pastor say something about the deacon, and now you're not the whole church in shambles. So everybody else keeping everybody's secrets. When they think it's secrets, we know that it's public knowledge. Everybody knows. But if the deacons acknowledge it, then is for the congregation, it may be deemed to be true at that point. Up until that point, it's probably just hearsay, rumor. People in the congregation are going to believe in their pastor. There's nothing wrong with supporting your pastor. But when your pastor's an asshole, when your pastor's doing dirt, when your pastor's hurting people, when your pastor is defaming people, when your pastor's out there, they doing damage to their friends, their so-called friends, and they're doing damage to their families and this, that, and other, time for you to get your ass out the pulpit. At least be humble enough to get out the pulpit. Stop creating that fire. If you believe in heaven and hell, stop creating that firestorm that you're going to receive once you leave this earth. Because ain't nowhere else for you to go if you believe in serving God and serving the word, and you in the pulpit and you doing the devil's work from the pulpit. There's nowhere else to go but hell. For those who believe in the afterlife, there's nowhere else to go but hell. If you walk in the pearly gates of heaven and you done all the devil's work from the pulpit, then that's something that I'm not going to understand. I know God forgives, but you forgive people who make mistakes. You forgive people who made a choice to do something one time and they ask for forgiveness, but you don't. I don't think God is pleased if you are continuing to do your dirt from the pulpit. And that's what we have a lot of pastors doing. Some pastors, again, let me reiterate. I said it in the beginning. I'm going to say it again at this point in the show. We have a lot of great pastors out there doing what they're supposed to do, doing the work in the community, doing the work in their own churches and building their congregations and preaching the word like it's supposed to be. And they're actually living the life that they are preaching. I know we're all human. We are all human. We all make mistakes. I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about doing it with conviction. I'm talking about doing things to purposely harm others. Now, let me read a couple more comments, and I apologize. Let me get back to the comments. I asked a question on Facebook: do corrupt pastor? Do you stay or do you go? Do you stay or go? Somebody else wrote, the pastor is not God. That being said, he is without sin. Cast the first. He who is without sin cast the first stone. Pastors fall from grace just like anyone else. My question to you is, where is that perfect church? And with the spot, I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to that. I promise you I am. Then somebody else said it's up to the church to decide whether or not the pastor is corrupt. I'm not going to agree with that one, because the church don't have to. Well, it depends on how the context in which that person wrote that. It depends on the context, because I could take that one way or the other as far as that comment. Now, let me go back to this comment. He said the person wrote, the pastor is not God. That being said, he who without sin cast the first stone. Pastors fall from grace just like anyone else. My question to you is, where's the perfect church with the spotless pastor? Again, there is no perfect church. There's no perfect pastor. But if that person is out there listening to the show as we speak right now, if they're out there listening to the show, I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about conviction. I'm talking about with malice. I'm talking about with forethought. I'm talking first degree corruption. I'm talking intent. I'm talking conspiracy, when you conspire to do people wrong. where you sit and probably lay in your bed at night and think, how can I fuck this person? How can I get this person thrown out of their job? How can I get this person's career ruined? And then you go out after you done laid in your bed and thought about it. Then you go out and you actually try to initiate these thoughts that you done had, these corrupt thoughts, these bad thoughts. And I'm not giving hypotheticals here. This real situations. These aren't hypotheticals. Everything that I'm saying is based in a real situation. So when you plan to do dirt, and then you do said dirt, and then you play victim after you done threw that rock, and now you're trying to hide your hands. Now it's everybody else that's throwing the rocks. Now it's not, now is you being picked on. Now is, you being hated on when you the fuck up to begin with. So there is no perfect church. There is no perfect pastor. There is no perfect person. People make mistakes. But when people go out and do dirt, it's usually intentional. When people go out and commit crimes, it's usually intentional. 9 times out of 10, you done thought about what you're going to do when you go out there and commit that crime. You done thought about it. You done contemplated it. You done planned it. And then you go do it. That's intentional. And then once you commit that crime, then you hide your hands. You hide your hands. You play victim, and then you stand in front of people and you say, "Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't commit adultery. You shouldn't rob and steal. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. You should serve God and you should do that." And then as soon as you walk your dumb ass out that pulpit, you going and doing the same thing that you done told everybody else not to do. Now, as a person in the congregation, as a member of a church, as someone, if you are just sitting in the pews, or you are serving as a you have a role in the church, whether you're an usher, a deacon, or a choir director, or youth pastor, or whatever, how do you sit under someone who is purposely doing the devil's work? And I'm gonna keep saying that word, purposely. Not an accident. It's not a slip up. That's what I need to know. I need to know, because right now, somebody listening to this show right now that's sitting under a pastor that is foul as fish that have been sitting out in the sun for 2 days. Dead fish that have been sitting out in the sun. They just that foul. There's people listening to this show that their pastor is probably with somebody else other than their spouse right as we speak. Probably somebody listening to this show is sitting there with a pastor that is conspiring to do somebody wrong, that is in the act of doing somebody wrong right at this point, and y'all know they're doing it. So how do you sit under the tutelage of that person? And we have the same thing in politics going on right now. Not to jump off subject or anything, but we have the same thing in politics, because we have Christian folk. We have evangelicals as we speak that are planning to put someone in office who is evil, that do evil things to people, that always is trying to bring down somebody else, who is always talking negative about somebody, who is always conspiring to do damage to someone else. That, we have somebody that everybody around this person is going to jail and getting locked up and getting indicted, what have you. And this person is sitting on the high hog, and he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's telling your dumb ass to go out and do all this stupid shit, and he's sitting back and watching, and he don't give a damn about you, as long as he stay out of trouble. Same thing with these pastors. We have pastors, and we have people that still following this person, still people that still voting for this person. The orange idiot. This is who I'm talking to. You know, we got some others, some senators and congressmen and this, that, and other that are in the same boat. But I'm talking about the orange idiot at this point. How do you vote for the devil and you call yourself evangelical? You call yourself a Christian. How do you go into a voting booth and vote for somebody who you know is evil and doing dirt? Is it a Christian thing? Is that I don't understand? Is it a one of those secret codes or secret societies that I don't know about that makes you an idiot? So even with pastors, when you know your pastor is doing wrong, you still go and sit in that church Sunday after Sunday and go to Bible study Wednesday after Wednesday, and you know your pastor full of shit. I don't understand. But you'll have a problem with it if you send your kids to school and you find out your teacher, got an OnlyFans page. The teacher of your child got an OnlyFans page. Now you're in an uproar. Now you're saying the teacher got to be removed. The teacher can't teach. She can't be in the school. Oh, you got an OnlyFans page. How are you teaching my child? But you sitting your dumb ass up in a church where the pastor is probably screwing somebody where the pastor is probably trying to get somebody that fired from their job because they know about his wrongdoings and they trying to keep him quiet. But you go sit in the church Sunday after Sunday, but you want the teacher removed from the school because they may have an OnlyFans page, or you want the teacher removed because maybe they, back in the day they got convicted of drug possession, had some weed on them or something, and now you done found out that they did that 20 years ago. Now you want to take your child out of their classroom, but you go to church and follow someone and learn the word under someone who is not living what they're teaching you. Help me understand, people. Help me understand. Let's see. We got a couple more comments. Mr. Pugh said the teacher is about the blind. Blind lead the blind. I can't see y'all. Y'all work with me. And they both fall in the ditch. He said, correction, the Bible teaches us. Okay, I got you. But how is that? How is that possible? What does that say about your faith? I know everybody falls short. Everybody can be redeemed. Everybody can confess their sins and try to live right. But I'm talking about the ones that are in the pulpit that have no intentions of living right, has no intentions of coming out that pulpit, no intentions of doing the right thing, and they continue to do their dirt from the pulpit. Those are the folks. Those are the ones I'm talking about. And for you, you know who you are. You know for the people out there that's listening, y'all know y'all pastor fucked up. Y'all know y'all pastor foul as hell. But why do you need to really ask yourself, why do I keep going and trying to get this word from this dirty pastor? That's just like if I invite you to my house. When it comes to the word, when it comes to giving you the word, that's just like if I was a pastor, if I was a preacher, and I invite you to my house for dinner, and you come to my house for dinner, and I say I'm going to serve you filet mignon, I'm going to serve you lobster tails, I'm going to serve you, the most tenderest greens that come out the garden. I'm gonna serve you these elegant potatoes that this dish that I prepared for you, and I'll put it all in there, and the filet mignon and the lobster tails, and all the good vegetables, and the potatoes and this, that, and another. I'm gonna make you this beautiful dish. I'm gonna make you this good tasting dish. And then when I come and put it on the table for you to eat it, I take that filet mignon, I take them lobster tails, I take them vegetables, I take them potatoes, and I put them on a dirty garbage can lid, a nasty garbage can lid that has dirt, maggots, or whatever. I take that filet mignon and I take all that good food that I just prepared, that food that's supposed to feed you and nourish you, that's supposed to keep you living and keep you going. I take all that good food and I serve it to you on a dirty, maggot infested garbage can lid. Are you going to eat that food? Are you going to get any nourishment out of that food? Hell no, you're not, because you're not going to eat it. You're not, because it's being served on a dirty, maggot infested garbage can lid. That is what these pastors are doing to you people out there. These corrupt pastors that do not need to be in the pulpit. They are bringing you the word, that filet mignon, that's the lobster tails and the filet mignon. They're bringing you the word on a dirty, maggot infested garbage can lid. It's going to make you sick if you try to eat it. You're going to eat dirt. You're going to eat garbage. You're going to eat worms. You're going to eat maggots. Even though that food that is being served to you is good food, it's going to make you sick because it's on a dirty garbage can lid. So how can you go to church and get the full meaning of the word, the full intent of the word, from a dirty, maggot infested garbage can lid? You're not dumb people. You're smart people. You're smart people. And again, if you're a member of a church, you know if your pastor is corrupt or not. You know full well who they are. I don't have to call any names. I don't have to call the Ttwg Jakes and all those. I don't have to say all that because everybody know who it is. I'm sorry, I got Mr. Middleton, Claxton Miller. He said Bill Cosby said that in the episode of the Cosby Show. I would love, and you're exactly right. He exactly said that, and that's another example. He wasn't a pastor, but he was. Bill Cosby served you up this pretty picture, but behind the scenes, he was living foul. We all bought into it. We all ate on it until we found out that garbage can lid was dirty. Miss Denny says, want to get rid of the teachers for smoking weed back in the day, but you still have the pastors in the pulpit that was touching kids on summer trips. Yeah, you want to get rid of everybody else, but people will follow those community leaders and those politicians and those pastors. They would follow them to the depths of hell. And I don't understand it. I wish I did understand it. I wish somebody could break it down to me to where I may have a halfway understanding of it, but I just don't. I said it earlier in the show, a crackhead cannot teach me how to stop smoking crack. They can't advise me on how to stop smoking crack. An active crackhead cannot advise me on how to stop smoking crack. A previous crackhead, a rehabilitated crackhead, can give me all the advice in the world, and I sit and listen all day long. But if you're an active crackhead and I'm smoking crack, or I'm trying to stay off crack, you can't tell me nothing because you're not living what you're trying to tell me. And I think our pastors should live what they're preaching. I'm not saying that anybody's perfect. There is no perfect pastor. There is no perfect person. And I'm saying this again. But when you are doing things deliberately, we have pastors out there that don't even have the support of their own families. You can't even walk in the church and find a family member in the church, a family member of the pastor in the church. Nobody in the family is going to the church. Now that's fucked up. No matter how you look at it, that's fucked up. If you can't get your own family to come and worship with you, that's fucked up. Mr. Pugh said a couple more comments. Mr. Pugh said because some people just as messed up as the pastor, they don't care. Mr. Derek said, just like a man can't tell me how to be good to a woman that abused women. You're exactly right, Mr. Ball. Appreciate that comment, those comments. Yeah, right. An abuser is going to abuse. And that person can't give you advice on how to treat a woman or how to take care of a woman or how to be a good man when you out there doing dumb shit. And I just want, y'all know I go hard on pastors. I go hard on these churches because I want these pastors and these churches to be better members of the community. I want these church organizations to be better organizations in the community because we have these kids out here that are growing up that are straying away from the church because the church is so hypocritical, and the young folks don't want to go in the church because they feel more love out there on the streets than they do in the church, because church folks talk about them. Church folk put them down. Church folk, criticize how they look and how they dress and how their hairstyle is, whatever, instead of embracing these kids that are coming through these doors. They talk about them so bad that they don't even want to be there. They go get the love from the people on the streets. And we have to change that because we're losing our kids. And in the Black community, it starts unfortunately, it starts in the home and it starts in the church. Those are the two safe havens that the Black community have latched on to, the home and the church. The church has to play a better role. A home has to play a better role. Our parents have to play a better role. Our fathers have to play a better role. Our mothers have to stop condoning bad habits and bad attitudes and this, that, and other. Stop giving your kids passes because they're going to be corrupt pastors. They're going to learn to be nice and nasty at the same time. Let's see, we got another comment. And y'all bear with me. I can't see crap. He said, I am a preacher. You know what it is. The problem is that we are looking pastors. We are looking at the church, but the issue is not just the pastors. Like, for real, the problem is when the preacher misrepresents and causes a blight on the true message. I think he said all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And the problem is that it's called set man and woman of God yielding flesh and worldly things. Mr. Ball said, you ain't doing nothing wrong, G. Get them pastors to preach about God and you will, but will not speak to each other so these kids see this. And Brother Claxton, Pastor Claxton, you're being a preacher. I go hard on preachers because I put preachers at a higher level than laymen, because I think if you're called to teach and guide people in the right direction and guide them to that afterlife, I think that you are put at a higher level of responsibility to your congregation and the people that you are preaching to. Again, there's no perfect person. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect pastor. But again, as I'm going to reiterate again, as I was saying, everything that I'm saying is that when pastors go out there and do things on purpose, I'm not talking about making a mistake. I'm talking about purposely planning to do people wrong, purposely planning to screw their own family, purposely planning to screw their so-called friends and this, that. They planning these things. They know they're doing wrong. That's what I'm talking about. I know we all make mistakes. I'm talking about doing it on purpose. And we have pastors out there doing foul shit on purpose. And they need to be removed. They need to humble themselves and and take themselves out of the pulpit until they can get their shit straight, and then come back and go through the process again to try to get back to where they can stand in front of a congregation and preach and deliver the word, and is making a conscious effort to live what they are preaching. But don't stand in that pulpit and purposely try to fuck over folks and then preach to them about right and wrong. You're going to hell. You're going straight to hell. I know I can't judge. I'm not supposed to judge according to the Christian faith. I'm not supposed to cast judgment on anyone, but I guarantee you're going to hell. If there is a heaven or hell, you're going to hell. I guarantee you that. And I might go to hell too. I don't know. But if I go to hell, I'll be, when I see you down there, I'm going to smile because I knew you was coming with me. And we might fight down there because I can fight you in hell. I go to jail if I fight you on earth. But I fight you in hell. I promise you I will. So if you see me in hell, you think that fire hot. But anyway, it's time for me to get out of here. It's been an hour well spent. We had some difficulties in the beginning of the show, technical difficulties, because the devil didn't want me to talk about his servants. And we had some technical difficulties in the beginning of the show. I appreciate all the comments, and I'm still, even after the show's over, I'm gonna go back and read the comments as well. But I thank you for listening to the show. I thank you for the comments. Thank you for participating. And I'm just being real, people. Y'all know I don't mince words. I don't parse my words. I say it like it is. I know a lot of people may not agree with me, but I can't worry about who agree and who don't agree with me. I have to tell it like it is. I have to say the things that a lot of people are scared to say, don't want to say, because they're worried about their status. They're worried about what people are going to think. They're worried about what their job going to think. But I'm going to give you the real. That's all I can do. That's the purpose of this whole show, is to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's why I purposely named this show The Truth with G. Because I'm going to give you the real. I ain't going to pull no punches. I ain't going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to give it to you real. But y'all join me on Monday. I'll be back on Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure that you join me on Monday. We'll be back to talk about more issues in the community. We'll talk about the vote. I didn't get to these kids. We're going to table that conversation for Monday in regards to these kids, because I seen a disturbing video where there was a young man that slapped the hell out of a teacher. And if I were that teacher, I would probably be locked up right now, because that child would not have survived doing me that way. But anyway, we'll talk about that on Monday. We got to get our kids in line. I don't know what we need to do it, get it done, but we have to get our kids in line. So, but until Monday, thank you so very much for listening. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. Have a good weekend, safe weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Now I'm out of here.